Dudes with Brews on a Porch presents to you another edition of Strange Brews. Conspiracies, murder, ghost stories, aliens. They're all coming to get you, my dears.
Craft Brews, casual conversations. We are in the midst of spooky times, craft booze, and casual conversations. Get it? Join with me for the third week in a row. Rob, my goodness.
I know.
How does
I'm making a comeback.
Making a comeback? Your ceiling fan looks great. I have a beer. You have a beer. Let's talk about it before we dive into all that is not necessarily spooky, but strange. Right.
Right.
I'm drinking Prairie Artisan Ale's Pumpkin Pie Treat, Rob. It is a sour ale with pumpkin pie spice blend and toasted marshmallow flavor. It costs $5.50 at the local craft beer store, which is a very nice store. 5.5 ABV. IBU's 0. It's a fruited beer, so it or not fruited, it's sour beer, so it shouldn't be too bitter. It smells just like pumpkin pie. It really does.
It sounds good. I'm kind of limited to what I can get in my neighborhood, and that's unfortunate because I would like to get some festive beers, but I can't get them canned.
Well, you could get like an Oktoberfest, I'm sure, locally.
I can get them at the bar that I go to. There's some very good ones.
Mm-hmm.
But
they don't do crowlers?
No.
Oh.
If I go straight to the brewery, but I got to go a ways to get to the brewery. So
yeah, it's pretty good. I don't know. The smell smells like pumpkin pie, but the taste has like a little like pumpkin spice to it. A little, I get that marshmallow flavor a little bit. Not like a heavy pumpkin pie taste. Not really that sour either, to be honest. It's got a little tartness, but nothing too crazy, I guess. It's got a good pumpkin pie aftertaste for sure. What about you? You're drinking something straight out of Japan.
Yeah, do you want to go for this name or?
He sent me a picture of it. I can try to.
Asahi?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay, Asahi.
Asahi. Yeah.
It's funny.
What?
It says right on the label, product of Italy.
Oh, what?
But it also says on the label, it's a vision of our Japanese master brewers.
Okay.
So this is a little bit of a conundrum, this beer. And I will say it's a little bit the taste. It's sweet up front, not much bitterness to it. It's the most. It's like the most popular beer in Japan. It says
it's super dry. It says
super dry. It feels pretty wet to me, but it is a liquid.
Yeah.
But no, it has a good taste to it.
Okay.
I could see how it, like, if you drank this, it could fit into your like Miller's and your Budweiser category for the type, because it's not a craft beer. But it is a beer I've been looking at for a while on the shelf, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it says I have some information on it here. Asahi Super Dry from it's a lager, a Japanese rice beer. It says product of Italy, but on here it says Tokyo, Japan. So it's brewed with.
I'm telling you, this thing doesn't know what it is.
Brewed with precision to very high quality standards under the supervision of Japanese master brewers. Our advanced brewing techniques deliver a dry, crisp taste and quick, clean finish. We call it some word taste.
Karakashi?
Yeah.
Karakuchi.
Chameleon.
Right?
Yeah.
Is it Karakuchi?
Yeah, that seems right. Good job. 20 on the IBUs. 5% ABVs. Anyways, let's get to the stuff. Okay, so I don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what I'm talking about. I was deep, so I wanted to do some information on clones, Rob. I wanted to find
I love it.
conspiracies on clones. Okay, there's not many. The only like realm of clone theories that I can find are the celebrity clones that are upon us, or that are in this world.
Absolutely real. Yes.
Of course, the biggest one of them all being Paul McCartney, right? Because
and Paul McCartney is absolutely he's not a clone, he's a doppelganger. Maybe I'll give him clone status.
they're saying a look-alike, so an imposter.
Yeah.
Called
But Paul McCartney died in 1966. We all know this.
We don't know this, but
no, we all know it to be fact.
Billy,
don't be coy.
Billy Shears is who he really is, and essentially, yeah, like it happened in 1966. Died in a car crash, and a lot of these stories stem off car crashes. Okay, they were worried so much about the career and the impact it would have on him being dead that they just found a guy, Billy Shears, an orphan who won a McCartney lookalike contest, and now he keeps going, right. People can hear John Lennon saying, "I buried Paul." You know, there's supposed to be like allegedly a big argument between him and John Lennon, right? John Lennon and Paul McCartney got in a fight, causing him to leave, getting him in the crash. Apparently Ringo Starr like confirmed it in a cheeky manner back in 2015. So these theories are based off of are similar to this. And a lot of these celebrities that I'm going to talk about, Rob, you're going to ask yourself, why? Okay. Paul McCartney, I guess I could get it because it's like
I'm just going to say real quick on the Paul McCartney thing. It's interesting to me that Ringo spoke out even in a cheeky manner, considering Maxwell had John Lennon and George Harrison killed because they were going to talk out.
Is that what it is?
That's absolutely what happened. Yes, with his silver hammer.
Oh, okay.
If you listen to the lyrics of all their albums, it tells the story.
Well, did you know this, Rob? Miley Cyrus was killed by a corporation in 2010.
I did not know this, but now I totally believe it. And I'm on board 100%. She changed in 2010.
So this really isn't okay. This really isn't like a clone theory, but this is like the old switcheroo. Okay, a body double is now the new Miley Cyrus.
Yeah, that's strange enough in and of itself.
Because she's dead. The real Miley Cyrus is dead. Yeah, Miley used her body double a lot at a stand-in concert once for about 30 seconds. And it proves that the one existed and the real one is dead. But really, why? Why would you?
I don't know. I do know that that's why Billy Ray has an achy, breaky heart, though.
That song came out a long time ago, before Miley Cyrus was Miley Cyrus. This one...
I'm not saying he wrote the song because of it. I'm just saying that's why we haven't seen him so much. He's been very downtrodden since 2010. Another
one that you ask yourself, why go through the measures? Why do this? Avril Lavigne.
One I don't understand. I don't get that one.
She died after her first record of all things, the first one with Complicated.
Are you sure that they didn't like forget to put in the word career? Like her career died after her first record? Is that?
No, she's dead. And then she was replaced by just another lookalike who was best friends with her back in the day. Google says she is now 1.55 m. I don't know what that means. It went like tall maybe, when the real Avril Lavigne was 1.58 meters tall. Centimeter? I don't know. This is a different website, I guess.
It's definitely not centimeters.
No. So now, like, yeah, Melissa's living this lavish career of Avril Lavigne. The one that...
Wait, what? Can you say that again? Lavish career of Avril Lavigne?
Travis Barker just made her last record, just produced her last record. She's doing okay.
Still coming out with stuff?
Yeah, she opened up for Machine Gun Kelly on his last tour. Machine Gun Kelly's not good, but he sold out arenas.
I mean, I won't lie. I've heard people say that she's got. There's more to Avril's stuff than what you remember. It's not just all skater boys and black clothes with rips.
This one is where the clone comes in. Okay.
All right.
Eminem. So, he's been replaced by an Illuminati clone, and had like a little bit of writer's block back in the day, which explains the gap between his record Encore from 2004 to 2009's Relapse, because the real Eminem was killed in a car crash organized by the Illuminati. After he refused to work with them, Eminem said, "No, man, I don't need to work with you. I'm famous enough." And the Illuminati said, "All right, well, now you're dead." Car crash. Why is it always a car crash, Rob?
Why? Yeah, that makes they can make somebody just disappear, and then if they have the clone ready, like they could just take him out in a secret trap door in a bathroom somewhere. It didn't have, no evidence.
But yeah, so that's what it is. It's he's a clone that is a satanic homosexual sellout.
Wow.
Emphasis on the sellout, because he wasn't selling lots of records before. So he now he's a part of getting people for the New World Order.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's the agenda that his new albums are pushing?
I don't know. I don't know about this one. It's a little tricky. One that I really liked was that Britney Spears was actually on the White House's payroll.
What were they paying her for?
I don't know.
I want to believe it. I do.
Yeah, she was.
I wanted you to say Britney Spears started out as a clone, and then the original got loose.
No,
and they had to kidnap the clone so that they wouldn't be found out.
Yeah, I don't.
Reverse clone situation. Let's start that conspiracy theory.
But again, they're saying that the real one, died too in the old switcheroo.
Britney Spears as well.
Yeah, man. The one though that like makes hold on, let me see if I can find more info on that.
Are there any celebrities that aren't clones?
Well, yeah, all of them aren't clones except for Eminem, and then Britney was on the White House payroll. Every time the Bush administration screwed up, they distracted the sheeple with the Britney scandal.
See, that worked. I think that's true. That worked.
Yeah, you think so?
I don't remember what Bush did, but God damn it, I know what Britney did.
Yeah, she shaved her head. She went crazy.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna die. I don't like to get political on this show, Rob, but Joe Biden is said to not. We don't know who the real Joe Biden is. There's actually
there's 5 of them.
There's a clone theory that Joe Biden, they're saying Joe Biden is dead, and that he's been replaced by different deep fake body doubles. And if you look at side-by-side pictures, you can see like various inconsistencies with the faces. But, the pictures, I'd like to say, they're saying that they took from a couple hours of each other, and that they're a deep fake. So Joe Biden is really dead. Anytime we see him on a screen, they're just superimposing an image on his face over this body double's face. And they're just going through it. Maybe that's why they can never have like a coherent answer, because they're like, they forgot the scripted lines, or they're like, what did Joe think? So yeah,
I don't know. I mean, you could tell me that, and I'll believe it. You could also tell me that they're Weekend at Bernieing us with Joe Biden. I'd probably believe that too.
Wouldn't that be something? But yeah, that's a big theory that Joe Biden, not the real Joe Biden, he's dead. He's dead, and he's deep faked. Yeah, man, I couldn't find like a lot of clone stuff. Like, there's got to be some up to no good clones out there in the world. I mean, why are they all celebrities, and why are they celebrities? Like, Beyonce was on that list. Steve Jobs is on that list. It's like, well, why? Why? Like, no one cares about Beyonce. People care, but not enough. How come?
Okay, can I ask you this?
Yes.
Who do you think is worthy of being a clone? Then?
Right, but that's what I'm saying. So, like, how come they let Jimi Hendrix die? How come they let Kurt Cobain? How come they didn't clone him? Or like get
Because they were just getting the ears on mice and shit back then, and goats named Bessie or something.
Well, if they did it with Paul McCartney, they could have easily done it with Kurt Cobain.
Paul McCartney was not a clone; he was a lookalike.
But you know what I mean.
They had to teach the guy to play bass left-handed. I mean, come on, get your facts straight.
It can't be that hard. I could have done that.
I can't even do it. I'm left-handed.
Well, that's all I got. Not too crazy, but I'd like to find some sinister clone stuff because I think eventually like stuff could get wild with the clones.
Yeah.
Great answer.
I mean,
great response.
Very. I mean, it's a testament to the fact that maybe Ted Turner's a clone, and that's why this information doesn't get out.
Could be. Let's talk about your sweet topic now. Switch it to you.
All right, I'm gonna paint you a little picture here.
Yeah, please do.
In the depths of the forest, Drew.
Yeah.
A creature emerges from behind a tree.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
In radiance. And with a shining white coat of fur.
Mm-hmm.
This awe-inspiring creature trots briskly between the trees. Do you know what I'm talking about? One single horn protrudes from the center of this creature's head. Standing tall and proud, Drew. Yes, it is the unicorn.
Did you write this or did you just improv
I'm
this?
stealing the shit out of this.
Oh, okay. That was impressive.
I wish I wrote that majestic opening.
The unicorn.
The unicorn. And I'm just going to say right off the rip, one of my favorite things about looking into this is how many unicorn-based websites there are.
Quite a bit.
Yeah. I mean, you got your unicorntheory.com. You got your unicornsforlife.com. This is from mythology.net because I didn't want to get a biased I didn't want to go biased. I figured if unicorns was in the name of the site, then they're going to be pro unicorn.
In my undergrad program, or when I was going for my bachelor's degree, I was in a sociology class, okay, and we had to like break down into groups, and our group name that I thought of was the Angry Unicorns. That was our name. It was awesome.
We'll get into that because those exist.
The angry ones, huh?
Yes.
All right. So what about the unicorn? So, I mean, obviously there is a mystique to them. There is some did they ever exist? Where do they come from? You got this information?
I do. So unicorns. This is what was crazy to me. This is what I learned about unicorns. So obviously we all know the white unicorn, symbol of the pure, with its magical ambiance, its ability to cure erectile dysfunction, with the shavings of the horn. I mean, these are.
Is that real?
This is true. Yeah. It was people in ancient cultures like hunted them for their healing qualities.
Okay.
So the most popular depictions of unicorns are Greek and European.
Right.
And they because like these European cultures especially, they traveled the world, so their depictions were worldwide. They saw them in multiple different places. Some saw it as the incarnation of purity and grace, and that's how it kind of got put into the mythology aspect of things, and also the religious aspect. Mm-hmm. Because there is like unicornal symbology in the Bible and things like that. But right off the rip, it was believed that the horn of the unicorn possessed some type of power to cure sickness, and actually it was an antidote for poison and could bring long life. So like earls and kings would pay a lot of money to get unicorn horns, so they were hunted to extinction.
Mm-hmm.
There's like old texts and even as far as when we started making books about the creatures of the world, where unicorns were put in there as an absolutely real creature. There are some cultures that always view them kind of more mythologically, but they were definitely, as far as I can tell, and as far as I've found, like we absolutely thought that they were real up to a certain point until they became extinct, and they were extinct for a while, and now we look at them as just these mythological beasts. But mainly because their horns were so coveted for their healing qualities. And I think that's what that's kind of where my the extent of people's unicorn knowledge ends, if they know anything about unicorns.
Yeah.
But there are Asian unicorns that have green scales and orange back hair like a mane.
Yeah.
They're more dragon-esque. They're called the Quillin or the Quillin. I don't know how to pronounce it because it's a Chinese word.
Sure.
But it's Quilin.
Okay.
It's it's a little bit different than a unicorn. It's more goatish, but it is considered the Chinese equivalent. It's more of a chimera, but and that led to the Kirin, which is the Japanese form of unicorn,
Mm-hmm.
which is also it's pretty well established that was just kind of taken from Chinese culture. So these creatures, the Killin and the Kirin and the unicorn, like they were said to not want to even harm the ground. Like they didn't disturb a blade of grass when they walked across the earth. So like then in mythological terms, it was adopted that they could walk on water or amongst the clouds. So take that how you want. But they were able to look at a person and know if they were good or evil.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say this right now. They're peaceful in nature and punish the wicked. Unicorns do.
Punch
This
the
is the
wicked.
reason I looked up unicorns, because I remember like 10 years ago hearing a story or reading in a mythology book about a unicorn like ripping somebody's throat out.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to find that tale, and I want to talk about the real unicorn, the real
Yeah.
the reason we actually hunted them to extinction is because they could see the evil in you, and they would fucking bite your nose off and your throat out, and you would die slowly. And they loved it.
So very vicious.
And then I didn't find that story. I don't know if that story is real or not. But I vividly remember reading about it. But this is what I found while researching this today, is that they're peaceful in nature, but they do punish the wicked.
Okay.
So let's move on to African unicorns. So this is called oh my God, I don't know why I did this, because the words that I have to say along with this beer, maybe that's the correlation. A beer I can't pronounce the name of, with a bunch of unicorn names I can't pronounce. But I'm gonna try. The Ababada, the Abada, the Ababda.
Okay.
That is the African unicorn.
Sure.
Once again, the horn is thought to cure many illnesses. But it's an antidote. Like the crushed up horn cures poison. It's an antidote. You have the South American unicorn, specifically in Chile or Chile, sometimes called the Kamahuto.
I don't know. You're asking the wrong guy.
But it's interesting because all these different these unicorn myths go back long before airplanes, long before travel was established between these countries.
Right.
But they all have the same properties. They all believe that this magical creature, the horn would cure poison. It would create long life. Um, and like that's the interesting thing where these creatures were hunted to extinction because there's something magical about the horn that they have.
Right.
Um, so to me that's interesting.
Do you think then, like, so with all these different origins, all the African one, you have the South American, the Chilean one, American one, all over the place, and it's recorded in various areas of history, right? Do you think that's something that's got to be real then, right? At least the existence of it. Think.
And and that's where when you get into because all of these, if you see the pictures or the statues or the depictions of these unicorn creatures from each continent, they're all a little different. They've all got something different going on with them. Yeah. It wasn't until Europeans kind of started taking over and this Christianity idea of purity and majesty and there's a unicorn in a biblical story that's almost self-sacrifices itself to a virgin, which led to this idea that the only way to tame a unicorn is if you are a virgin.
Okay.
And it was like that's where we get into the mythological ideas of what the unicorn represents in the European culture. And so the only person that could capture and tame a unicorn was considered a pure virgin.
Sure.
And that's where you get the white mane, the white coat, the white horn. It's all about this idea of purity and in the Christian world.
Uh-huh.
That's where the unicorn that we all know comes from. And I'm going to get to a different type of unicorn very shortly. So that's all the types that I found.
Sure.
All right.
How long did you spend researching this?
What's that?
How long did you look into this?
Just for a few hours.
A few hours.
So the first mention of the unicorn comes from a Greek writer named Tetzius. I don't know if that's how it's pronounced because we're getting into these areas where I don't know what the frick. But mentioned in his work entitled Indinka, meaning of India. So the idea being the potential first unicorn that was spotted and actually recorded was in India.
Okay. That was a big swig.
Let me take a drink.
Pause for dramatic effect.
Yeah, right. But unlike the tales that would come out of European culture and things like that, these unicorns, they had white horns, red horns, or black horns. There were multiple different types of unicorns in that area.
Mm-hmm.
And Aristotle also gave a description of beasts that come from the same region, the oryx or the Indian ass, as it translates.
Yeah.
But it's thought that they were descriptions of unicorns as well.
Okay.
So Persia and that area back then had unicorns running around.
Sure.
So I just want to quick find this. Because this was interesting to me.
I never thought there'd be so much info or discussion about a unicorn.
Dude, there's a lot on unicorns, man. They're real. They were real. They're in hiding. They're afraid for their lives, and they should be.
So they're in hiding right now?
Or they're being cloned to be used in ED medication. I mean, that's possible too.
ED medication, or maybe they're being cloned because Beyonce isn't the real Beyonce.
Yeah, and maybe they're being cloned so that their horns can keep the clones alive.
Oh, that'd be crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're getting into it.
And now I can't find this part, and that really sucks because. Oh, here we go. Marco Polo. I was just looking for the name. So Marco Polo claimed to have seen a unicorn on his travels. But what's interesting about his description of the unicorn is that it was the size of an elephant, and it had a black horn in the middle of its head like a boar, and it had hair similar to a buffalo, and also it liked to roll around in the mud. Now, and that's very different from a lot of from all different descriptions. Many people thought he maybe saw a rhinoceros or something else, and it was misidentified. But he has writings about those other creatures, so it seems unlikely that he just misidentified a creature that he had already identified. But maybe they had alcohol back then. Who knows?
Who knows? Who knows?
So this is where I'll ask you the question. Do we want to get into the idea, like what the Virgin Mary and the incarnation of Christ and the passion of the Christ and how the unicorn kind of flows into that a little bit? Or should we move right on to the good stuff?
The good stuff.
In my opinion. Let's get to the black unicorn.
Okay.
Now I don't have as much on the black unicorn.
Okay.
But so this is from thinkunicorn.com. I love the fact that this place exists.
Okay.
So I am included in this group, but black unicorns are for many people the most fascinating species of unicorn.
All right.
That sentence is amazing to me. The most fascinating species of unicorn for most people.
For most people.
I would argue most people don't know that there are different species of unicorn.
I would agree with that.
But either way, so these unicorns rebel against the traditional white unicorn that we all know so well.
Yeah.
They are a juxtaposition between the positivity that unicorns represent and a color traditionally associated with darkness, misfortune, and danger.
Okay.
So they're not just because they're black unicorns and they can exude negativity. They're not bad by nature. They just find because they are often positive, but they have negative associations. So
sure.
It's I want to find this part that talks about them attacking, because they will do that.
For what, just for no reason, or
for evil things, like they're
stealing a PlayStation.
Yeah, they'll anybody who plays a PlayStation. I don't know what you just said, but PlayStation people deserve to be attacked.
They'll kill you
by black unicorns.
Okay.
So we'll just get into the description. So they're larger, I believe, than the normal unicorn.
Sure.
Many give them, this is all bullshit. Sorry. So they have scratched toes instead of hooves, which that's one.
Scratched toes?
Yeah, I don't know what that means, but take it as you want. That's what the
like
article
human
says.
Toes?
And, this site is called thinkunicorn.com, so I have to trust what they say about unicorns.
All right.
So they look, unsightly and decidedly scary, and these unicorns are clearly hunters, given their speed and their fearsome look, their aggressiveness. So that's different than the pure and majestic, calm, peaceful white unicorn of European society that we know.
Mm-hmm.
So they can be delicate, shy, shady, and sparkling in the dark. If you've ever seen one in the moonlight or in the bushes, you will know how breathtakingly beautiful they are. I just like that paragraph.
Where do people see them? Like, how do you go?
How many people have seen these things?
Right, that's what I need to know. Like, where are these people sighting black unicorns? It's got to be somewhere, right?
I know. It's I would love to see. I've seen a modern day video of a white unicorn.
Okay.
And it was amazing to see, and I don't know if it was real or not, but I choose to believe it was real.
Okay.
So with the black unicorns, however, it's like these are actually like the first unicorns might have been seen as black. They were depicted as black.
Yeah.
You know, it's so they're like, though there's not much difference, I think the difference is the fact that we see difference in them. We put a different connotation on them. Because like I said in the other articles that I read, it's like the Asian Asian unicorns have green scales, and the original Greek and European unicorns had red, white, or black horns. So the black unicorn, it's probably not actually in reality that different from the white unicorn, except for the fact that we choose to look at it in when it does the things like both unicorn types, they will attack evil. They sense evil, and they like and they're you know, more brought to goodness or whatever. But for whatever reason, we look at the dark one as a differently, and the white one different. But that's because of European values and Christianity and all those things. There's a lot to the unicorn myth, you know, and I only had a few hours to look into this stuff, so give me a break.
Yeah. Really grilling you over here about it. They actually found a Siberian unicorn fossil in Kazakhstan back in the day.
I didn't even find that information.
Yeah, so they found the Siberian unicorn in it's pretty interesting, but then it has like a different like look to it than what some people would think.
Well, but when you go back and you look at the ancient depictions of unicorns, they are all different on different continents.
Yeah.
Some of them have more goat-like appearances. Some of them have more like stubby legs. Some of them are steed-like, and like we all like when you say unicorn, you think white majestic horse with a white pearl horn.
Yeah.
That's not how they all look.
Okay.
So it's like the image of the unicorn was kind of hijacked for propaganda, but like I do, you know, I want to believe in all this stuff, and I do want to believe that unicorns did exist, and it totally makes sense to me that they would be hunted to extinction as soon as somebody was like, hey, this thing cures poison and brings long life.
Yeah.
But we have to kill it to get it. We did that with whales. You know, like and there's whales that don't exist anymore because of it. So it makes sense to me. And that's one of the things, people were actually killing narwhals to take their tusk and pass it off as a unicorn tusk for a while.
Okay. Crazy. Man, I
know. And there's a bunch more, but it's basically all the same stuff. Whereas this stuff is talking, you know, it's like the thing I really wanted to find, but I didn't find was this notion of the unicorn as a killer. And I guess maybe whatever I heard was not, you know, was not canon, or it's been buried in the archives.
Yeah.
It's big Christianity coming down on the unicorn.
Crazy. Well, there you have it.
Was that strange enough? Was that a strange enough topic?
I think so. Which is more believable, the clones or the body doubles or the unicorns?
They're both very believable to me. You know, but I want to believe all that stuff. But unicorns are, I as like mermaids, I believe, yes, unicorns used to exist.
I just like want to know, how does like whoever decides to use a body double or clone a celebrity after they die, who decides which ones they go? Because the ones that they're listing really just aren't heavy enough hitters for me. You know what I mean? I heard that Kevin Hart is actually a clone, and that the real Kevin Hart also died in a car accident. So it's like,
now that you can kind of get behind, where it's like, okay, Kevin Hart at the top of his fame, people who wanted to make a lot of money off of his movies cloned him so that they could come out with the movies and make the money.
But what about Robin Williams? They let him die.
Because he's unclonable, because he's not predictable enough.
Okay.
You can't download thoughts into a Robin Williams and make him be Robin Williams. You know, like I fully expect that the next clone that will come out will be like Vanilla Ice. Like,
Oh,
doesn't matter at all. No one cares.
it just seems like they pick like such like, I don't want to say unworthy because I'm sure they're good people, but what, they're not saving anything. They're not saving the world. They're not saving like a
But
global.
those people have to die in order to be cloned.
Yeah,
So
but why like replace Avril Lavigne? Why?
I hear that her music has some merit. I haven't gone and listened to it personally.
You've never heard an Avril Lavigne song?
No, I have.
Oh, there's nothing.
But it's always like, it's like I've been told to give it a deeper listen.
Hey, you. I don't like your boyfriend. No
Not
way.
those songs.
No way.
Those songs are bad.
Think you need a new one?
Didn't the guy from Five Finger Death Punch used to play for Avril Lavigne?
She was married to the singer and guitar player of Sum 41, and then after that they divorced. She married Chad Kroeger from Nickelback.
God, that makes so much sense.
They're divorced now too.
Also makes sense.
So I don't know if she's moved on to the dude from Five Finger Death Punch or what. You go from
No, she wasn't with him. He was just her guitarist, I thought.
Oh, really?
And no, it might have been Kelly Clarkson. It's one of those two, Kelly Clarkson or Avril Lavigne. And he said the music is not that bad, actually. It's not. There's more to it than just the skater boy and the boyfriend song.
Yeah, I'm sure there is.
But who's going out and buying B-side Avril Lavigne? This guy.
Who's buying A-side Avril Lavigne?
Yeah. If I'm not going to get the A-side, I ain't getting the B-side.
But yeah, it's just I'd like to think that the unicorns are more real than these body doubles, these clones. Because let's face it, the unicorn can save the world. Avril Lavigne and Eminem's Illuminati satanic sex god clone. As much as I'd like to be a satanic sex god, I just I don't think it's pertinent to the current state of things, where the unicorns could really shift a lot, could cure some people of their erectile dysfunction.
Well, yeah, part of me believe I really do actually think we stumbled onto something here where there's a deep underground bunker of cloned unicorns.
Yeah,
and
like
their
Jurassic
horns are
Park
being
shit.
made into the medication that cured Magic Johnson, that cured Michael C. Hall.
Wow, hold on. Magic Johnson never had a problem with erectile dysfunction. How do you think he got the HIV?
Yeah, I'm saying it cures more than just the erectile dysfunction.
Oh, okay. I thought we were just like, people need boners, so we need the unicorn.
Ironically, a side effect of using unicorn horns to treat HIV is impotence.
Oh, yeah.
Hence the reason we haven't seen so much out of Magic Johnson didn't see.
He's still around.
But no, like that, it becomes the uber rich's medication. That's why Michael Hall got
Michael C. Hall had Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Yeah, not an easy one to beat.
What is this? We only have 10 more minutes?
Time goes fast when you talk clones and unicorns.
Yeah, I guess. Man, we got to get on a program that doesn't put us on a time restraint.
I thought we were going to use Streamlabs or whatever again.
I don't pay for that, so I don't use it.
How much is that?
I don't know.
I'll pay for it.
Yeah.
Let's talk logistics right now. Yeah, I'll pay for it.
Years into it, you're finally willing to cough up some dough?
Yeah, for the good of the podcast, Drew. No. I mean, I'm bringing unicorns to the table. I'll bring $10 a month to the table too.
No, I'll look into it. But yeah, I guess we'll leave the belief or the skepticism up to the listeners. You decide. What did Lamar Burton say? Don't take my word for it. Right?
Yeah.
Is that what he said?
I'm just gonna say, if you got questions, go to thinkunicorn.com.
I googled. I googled some stuff and it's on there. It's all there.
Yeah, and then mythology.net / My unicorn? I don't know.
My Little
It
Pony.
won't tell me. Slash mythological unicorns.
Are you a brony now?
What's a brony?
So it's like a male figure that big fan of My Little Pony. I think like next step is you watching My Little Pony.
I've seen clips of that show that make me go, I think there's something there.
I think they're
I think
trying
it's a
to
good
tell us
show.
something. And I think isn't there like I could be really wrong on this right now, but I think there's like a black pony that is kind of evil.
Yeah, they probably made the emo satanic goth pony black.
Yeah, and it's probably a clone of the original one.
Yeah,
The Illuminati is doing this.
I think that's season 8.
Yeah,
They got into that.
that's where they got real deep into the weird stuff.
They were hoping that their viewers had gotten to be at least 16 at that point.
They made every other type of episode. Now it's time to get to the real
Let's start pushing the agenda.
real meat of My Little Pony is to sit around in a living room, pentagram, drawn in blood on the carpet, and we're all just passing around the body of a decapitated goat, and we are taking bites and drinks of its blood.
Yep.
That's the life in America I want to live in.
Yeah, and that's the My Little Pony I want to see.
All right, Rob. Well, did you enjoy your brewski from whatever it was called?
Asahi or
Yeah.
Asahi?
Yeah.
Asahi. Yeah, it was good. I've looked at the, rice beer, not bad.
Awesome. I had rice grain vodka once from China. It was just as disgusting as regular vodka. So
Yeah, you can't. I had hot sake at
Yeah.
Ryan's wedding rehearsal dinner
yeah,
with Noah.
yeah,
No good.
disgusting.
I don't know if it was the hotness or the sakiness, but it was not good.
You could say it socked.
Yeah, it hot socked. Yeah,
It was very socky.
yeah,
Heyo.
that definitely.
Heyo. All right. Well, I drank pumpkin pie treat from Prairie Artisan Ales. Cost me $5.50. Not even for a full 16 ounces. It was fine. I mean, I was hoping for a little bit more pumpkin forward taste to it. It smelled just like a piece of pumpkin pie, which is crazy. You get to capture that smell, the essence of it. And I think sometimes like a good smelling beer is half the battle, right? Maybe. In this case, though, it just wasn't. It was fine. It wasn't great. It wasn't horrible. It lacked a little bit of the taste I wanted.
What if you put whipped cream on it?
I don't know. That might be a little different story. That might add a little bit of creaminess
cream
to it,
and cinnamon.
a little lactose to it. It might be all right, but it was fine. Will I drink it again? Probably not. But I can't say it's the worst thing I've ever had.
Next episode, I'm gonna try and find something more festive. I'll take the time. I was just in Silver Lake today, so I didn't get the chance to go to a place that had a decent selection. Because there is a place down like a mile from here that has an okay selection of craft beers.
Okay. Well, we'll see what we can do in the next one. Maybe we can dive into another great world that we just yet to be discovered.
Yeah.
All right.
I like this episode. It was fun.
It was good.